What's up guys, Well Bros R&D here. I'm Rob.
I'm Dennis.
And we just wanted to make a quick video about meditation. We're going to quickly get into the benefits and one technique. There's a lot more we want to talk about, but we figured might as well just make a quick introduction video and we'll make a longer one later, really diving into it. So there's a lot of benefits associated with meditation, from mental clarity to ability to focus to lower stress levels. And I think those are the big three that we have found, that and actually helping with sleep. Personally, I was a huge insomniac a few years ago. I think that and mental clarity have been the two biggest benefits I've really obtained from meditating regularly. And again, the key is regularity and consistency and committing to doing it every single day. And there's a lot of different methods and techniques you can use through meditation, but Dennis is going to share with you the one that we have found the most effective.
Yeah, and before that, I just want to mention that I had really bad issues with both ADD and anxiety before I started meditating, and after starting to meditate, my anxiety, as long as I'm doing it consistently, my anxiety is pretty much non-existent. I feel like everything is okay all the time, and I can handle pretty much anything in life that comes my way. And as for ADD, I used to not be able to focus at all whatsoever, like say in class. My first 2 years of college were spent completely slamming my head against the desk and like staring at the clock the whole time. And learning everything outside of class. My next 2 years were spent barely doing anything outside of class, just focusing the whole time, taking notes and whatever. And just being able to learn while I was being taught the stuff instead of forcing myself into the book later on.
And I think with that too, it's definitely helped me become a better listener, because I'm not focused on all the million other things going on in my head. When I'm talking to someone, I can really just sit down and actually listen to what they're saying instead of being like, sorry, I have no idea what you just said, which used to happen to me all the time, where I'd introduce myself to someone, they'd say their name, I'd be thinking about something else, I'd be like, I already forgot their name the moment I just met them. And things like that, little social interactions, and just, as Dennis said, like in a classroom setting or in a meeting, have been enormously helpful.
Yeah, and there's a lot more we could say about benefits, but we want to make this video pretty short so we can just get you guys interested and then get the technique across. So I'm going to go right into that.
Yeah.
The traditional Buddhist form of meditation, Vipassana is what it's called, is the one that we use, and the two pillars of that are mindfulness and concentration. And the concentration aspect, when you go to sit down and meditate, which you should do with your butt on an elevated cushion if you're going to do it cross-legged, or you could do it sitting in a chair, however you're comfortable. The only real point is that you're in an environment where you can focus. The concentration pillar is just about focusing on your breath, the sensation of your breath as it goes in and out of your nose. Just like the literal sensation on your nostrils of the air is the thing that you want to be concentrating on. Like that. And as for the mindfulness part, that's synonymous with awareness in this business. It's just the ability to be an observer of what's going on around you, what's going on inside of you, your thoughts and feelings, not getting too wrapped up in them, but being able to watch them and let them go. So the way you practice mindfulness is you're sitting there meditating, you're concentrating on your breath, and a thought comes up, and you might start getting worked up, you might start dwelling on it, it starts distracting you. Instead of like keeping on feeding that thought and feeding into this loop that you're going on, you switch your focus to the sensation in your body that is created by the thought. Focusing on how you're feeling is gonna, A, it's gonna stop feeding the thought, and B, it's gonna allow that sensation to just sort of come to the forefront and dissipate, just dissolve into you. After like a few seconds, be it 5 seconds, 20 seconds of focusing on it, it's going to go away. And that's when you come back to your breath. And you pretty much just do that over and over during the session. And each time you do that, you get into a deeper level of the meditation, a deeper concentration, a deeper place of clarity and peacefulness. And the objective of meditating isn't to force your mind clear. That's just one of the great side effects you get out of meditating. A couple mindsets we want to go over real quick when you sit down and meditate is that this is what you're doing. Nothing else is urgent during this time. Like sometimes you'll think of something and be like, oh, I gotta go pay this bill, I gotta turn that light off, I gotta go take care of something. But no, you have designated this time to meditate. If you want the benefits, you have to sit down and meditate during this time. If you do that, if you go into it with that mindset, it takes a bunch of other random shit off the table and makes it a lot easier to just commit to it.
I think a lot of that too is kind of setting yourself up for success, making sure that you are ready to meditate and not just kind of doing in the middle of your day when you're doing a million other things, but setting that time aside so that you know that this is the only thing you have to be worrying about and you don't have to be thinking about a million other things. So what we like to do is make a habit out of it, of doing it at a similar time every day, so it's like becomes part of our daily routine, as opposed to we're paying the bills and we're just going to stop and meditate while the kids are yelling or the dogs are barking or whatever is happening at your house. Setting yourself up for success to avoid the distractions and really get the best benefits out of it.
Yeah, and the other important mindset you want to be keeping in mind when you sit down to meditate is that you're not judging anything. Every time you think of something, you tend to label it good or bad. That's just how we get through life. Like, is this going to help me? Is it not going to help me? Do I like this? Do I not like this? And you want to put that aside when you're meditating, and that's part of mindfulness and being an observer. Like, judging something is like feeding into the thoughts that distract you from your practice. Instead of judging, you just observe the sensation it creates inside of you, and eventually it'll dissipate, it'll go away. So in sum, we forgot to mention stillness. Very important during meditation. That's half the battle. Your body and your mind are connected. Stillness is going to get you halfway there. It's going to help settle down your mind and make it stop running around so much. You don't want to be moving when you're meditating. So like I said, when you're sitting down and committing to this time, you're not thinking of anything as urgent. You're also committing to being still that entire time. That's like crucial. So that mindfulness, concentration, concentrating on your breath until mindfulness needs to come into play. Stillness, have your butt elevated so you can sit cross-legged, or just sit somewhere where you're comfortable and able to focus. And that's pretty much it in sum for the technique. Do you want to talk about consistency a little bit?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest factor of being successful with meditation and really getting the benefits of meditation, as Dennis just said, is consistency and commitment to doing it every single day, whether starting off with 5 minutes if that's all you can do, all you can sit still for, all you can bear to do with your schedule or whatever. Start off with 5 and build up. Ultimately, we think that 20 minutes a day is what you should be going for, because that's when you've been there for, after 20 minutes, you've been there for a solid amount of time that you really keep going back to that meditative state, because obviously there's times our thoughts are going to wander and such, but having that solid chunk of time where you are consistently going back to this meditative state, and then that will translate to other areas of your life. And you'll find little bits of the benefits after a few times of doing it, but really after, I think, what do you think, like 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, I would say 3 weeks.
After about 3 weeks or so, you'll really start to notice this paradigm shift of just your life is changing, and everything you do, from social interactions to work-related meetings or lessons or whatever you're doing, you can just do those things more effectively and be more fully present while you're doing them. So yeah, just to wrap up, we'd invite you to try it. Try it for 5 minutes a day if that's all you can do, every single day.
But do that to create the habit of consistency.
Yes.
Consistency is when you're going to see the benefits. Like, a lot of people have tried meditating. Not everyone talks about it like we do because they haven't been consistent with it and they haven't seen how it can really change your life. So if you're going to do this, which we highly recommend, be consistent.
Yeah, and again, build up to that 20-minute time frame, but start off with 5 to build the habit and to get the practice of sitting still and committing to it every single day. So as I said earlier, we're going to be releasing a longer video later on, probably pretty soon, about more of the benefits of meditation, more attributes and characteristics that come with it.
But getting through obstacles, mindsets, all kinds of stuff like that. That will be more
things
helpful.
that will help you in everyday life.
And stuff that comes up during meditating that just we've learned, like, how to deal with, kind of just from having done it for a long time.
Yeah, and obstacles to, like, how to overcome the obstacles of doing it.
There's a lot more to say.
Yeah, so keeping this brief, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, please like it, share, subscribe.
Comment below.
And we will be releasing new videos, as I just said, on a weekly basis. So until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Dennis.
And we're the Well Bros.
Thank you.